Hey everybody, welcome to Old Roommates. Today on the show, we revisit two iconic music videos from none other than Miss Mariah Carey. Fantasy and Always Be My Baby. So friends, lie down, open your music box, and have a daydream. Old Roommates is about to begin.
Welcome everyone to Old Roommates, the only podcast that revisits pop culture through a middle-aged lens. This is Christina.
And this is Brian.
And Brian, how dare you tell me to lay down and open my box?
Music, it's the name of an album. Mm-hmm. Music Box, Daydream.
Seemed a little
Charm Bracelet.
Seemed...
No, they're all album titles.
Okay.
The Emancipation of Mimi.
Anything else?
Mariah Carey. Emotions.
What album was Fantasy and Always Be My Baby off of?
Fantasy was off of Daydream, as was Always Be My Baby.
Oh,
they both off the same album.
Very nice. So Brian, we begin this episode as we always do.
Yeah.
Tell me your history with Mariah. Well, let's start with Fantasy.
Specifically.
Let's start specifically with. Well, do you want to talk more generally first?
I don't know. What do you see? It seems like you know what you want to do.
I don't know what I want to do. So tell me about Mariah. I know you love Mariah.
I do love Mariah. I love Mariah Carey. And yeah, I love so many of her songs. Just incredible. I've never seen her in concert.
That surprises me.
I know. But I have so many of her albums.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically with Fantasy, well, the album Daydream is great, but she actually does a cover of Open Arms.
Oh.
Her covers are always really good. And then, so Fantasy, the song itself, I love that song. It's great. The music video from, we talked to this, we didn't necessarily sit around watching music videos all day.
Right.
But I remember the video very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mariah's music videos are very much like the Mariah Carey show, even back then. It's just
always.
Please watch me play with my hair.
Yes.
Please watch me smile and shrug my shoulders and be coy. And a little of that goes a long way. But I was excited to revisit this because now that so much time has passed, to view Mariah and what she was sort of sculpting for herself for her career during this time. So I was happy to revisit this. But yeah, Fantasy, I love the song. Video's fine. It's whatever. It was whatever for me then. How about you?
Same.
Yeah.
I was a fan. I'm not going to say a big fan of Mariah. I was a fan of Mariah Carey. I don't think I bought any of her CDs or albums or anything like that. But I didn't really feel like I needed to because she was on the radio constantly.
True.
She had so many wonderful hits, great songs, always had a lot of energy. She obviously has this beautiful voice, so talented. She reached some super high notes and everything else. So she was very iconic back then, and I enjoyed her music. Very danceable and all that. I loved Hero. Hero was one of my favorite songs, probably ever.
Wow.
I just think it's such a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah.
But as far as the videos, I wasn't super familiar with a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I do remember these two that we are revisiting.
Yeah.
And for Fantasy, my memory of Fantasy is a little different. What I remembered most was the sort of the end part of it. Well, the last half of it, I guess, where she's on the car at night dancing and all that sort of thing. But I liked it. Yeah. I liked it.
Then.
I didn't. I didn't really have a huge opinion on it, to be honest. But it was fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you want to dive into now?
Yeah, I will
Fantasy?
quickly say this came out August 23rd, 1995.
Oh.
It debuted at number 1, which is the first time ever for a female artist on the Billboard charts to debut a single at number 1. It spent 8 weeks at number 1. Yeah, 2 straight months.
Great song.
Yeah, very popular song. This was her lead single off of Daydream. Directed by Mariah Carey, this video.
No way.
Yep.
How funny
Filmed
is that?
at Playland Amusement Park in Rye, New York. So here we go.
Let's hear it then.
There's not a whole lot of meat on the bone here. Let's be honest.
There really isn't.
This is filmed in an amusement park. And she really, really loves throwing her hands in the air.
She sure does.
She does it a lot. Do you know how many times she does it? Because I watched this video 4 times and I counted.
How many times?
The video is 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Do you want to guess how many times? You don't like guessing.
God. Let's. I don't mind guessing. I will say. Let me see. I would say. How about 25?
How about 32?
Wow.
Yeah. So that's 8 times a minute.
Wow.
She puts her arms up in the air and does this little sashay with her hips. I did love the little girl.
Okay.
But this is not enough of her.
No, there really isn't.
Super cute girl. It's truly watching her lip sync, Christina. I'm just going to tell you, because I did my due diligence. I watched this at least 4 times. And I started making a little Dr. Seuss story. Because she's just lip syncing. She can lip sync at a fair. She can lip sync on a chair. She can lip sync on a Jeep. She can lip sync in her sleep because there's that dream sequence.
Yep.
She can lip sync in Spotlight. She can lip sync late at night.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's very cool. I like that. So it's funny you mentioned that because at the beginning of the video, I think it's when she is on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Her lip sync is off.
Yes, it is.
And I'm like, whoa, like that is surprising to me that they let that go. I mean, this is pretty high production.
In fairness, she was probably scared on that roller coaster.
Yeah. Because, it was going
I wish you could see the
fast.
face Christina just gave me.
Well, I love that half of the roller coaster sequence, her hair isn't even moving.
That is something. The hair is out of control.
I felt
it's and same with Always Be My Baby.
Yes.
Like she's really moving. She is moving her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be a million. I'm guessing this. I don't know this for sure. Please don't hate me, Mariah fans. But I mean, that is quite some hair. Like I think it's going to be some extensions going on and stuff like that because it doesn't really move. At times, there'll be like one single curl that flops on her face. And
there's a couple of moments where they're like, "Oh, we need a fan here."
Yeah, she immediately brushes it away.
But most of the time on that roller coaster, the hair is not moving. But I was surprised that the lip sync was off.
Yeah,
just because of the production value of this. You would have thought someone looked at that and said, oh no, we got to redo that.
Yeah.
But I mean, my first thought is, oh, she's so pretty.
Yes.
I thought it was a little bit slow. Considering the energy of the song didn't really match the energy of the video. Like, I felt like everything I was watching, and I might be wrong, because I only watched it once. I don't watch it more than once. But it seemed like she was moving in slow motion on the roller. So she goes from roller skates to the roller coaster. Roller skates.
I have a thought about this.
Roller coaster.
And then in the Jeep.
Back and forth. But for a while, it's just roller coaster.
Yes.
Roller skates.
True.
Back, forth. Forth. There's sort of slow motion-y kind of stuff. She's singing. And then halfway through, finally she's in the car at night. I was like, thank God. Like, I'm not with this back and forth. Okay, we get it. We see you. See you. So for me, I felt like the whole movement of the video is slow. And even just like the actual video, like when is it going to end kind of feeling.
Wow, it's 4 minutes long.
I know.
I will say it is repetitive. My thing though, it's like when you walk by every night. There's not a single man in this. The only guy in it is the guy getting a tattoo and it's like for laughs.
Yeah.
So where's this object of her affection? Maybe Tommy Mottola didn't want her to have a man in this video.
Probably. And this is honestly, both of these videos, she does the same thing. The words have nothing to do with the video. The video has nothing to do with the words. And, we've talked about this. I really appreciate the storyline videos.
1000%.
And this is just a picture of Mariah on roller skates. Here's Mariah on the roller coaster.
It's disappointing because everyone knows at this point, this is what her 5th album. There's a point where it's like, already know what Mariah Carey looks like. She is incredibly famous at this point. Okay. She's had, her debut album with Vision of Love. Then she had, Emotions. Then she had Music Box. Then she had the Christmas album.
Right,
and then she had this. So we're talking about a lot of people know who Mariah Carey is.
Yes.
Why is she force feeding us how she looks on a roller coaster? Like, this video could have been quirky and fun. It could have been her and a guy, like on different rides.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a spoof of Grease. If you have an amusement park to your,
Been so,
I'm just
I mean,
realizing
the whole amusement park.
I'm just laughing right now because last week we did Vacation. We did the amusement park. The amusement park
Oh
to
my
themselves.
gosh.
Now this.
She could
But
have used that amusement
she is
park.
Mariah Carey. It makes me think of, you know, we're not crazy fans of Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's similar to this reason. Like, Tom Hanks, there's a stretch in his career where it's like every movie, he wouldn't do a movie unless his character's name was the name of the movie.
Right.
It was like, you know, everything from, Captain Phillips to, well, A Man Named Otto was recent. But it's like, Forrest Gump. Yes, like, yeah, and there's a lot. Oh my God, I can't think of any of them. But they were often and always him, his story, no real supporting character.
Right.
Like, you know, so it's, but I think with Mariah Carey, it's the same thing. It's like, we already know you can, Tom Hanks, we already know you can act.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, maybe do something, I don't know. But Mariah Carey, it's like, we already know what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
Make it fun. Do a Grease. Yeah, you have that amusement park. Do a Grease spoof.
Yeah.
Make it entertaining because we already know what you look like, sweetie.
Or
And you're
just
not
have
even
some sort of anything.
and you're not even dancing. Maybe she can't dance.
And that's one of my criticisms here. You know, you have this middle part where it's everyone has so much energy. Finally, it's matching the little bit of the energy. They're dancing around. She's in the car high above everybody else, which doesn't surprise me. But everybody else is on the ground. They're all dancing. They seem to be having a really good time. She's swaying back and forth. And that's exactly what's my thought. I'm like, wait, doesn't she dance? Doesn't she dance in this? I missed that. Like, she should have been in this crowd dancing with people.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but that was
I agree, and I think that was I think the roller skates prevent her from dancing, right? Meaning intentionally, conveniently.
But she wasn't. She was. This is after the roller skates.
No. I'm saying, think about it. So what you're saying is the roller skates.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Roller skates, the roller coaster, and then the car. All these things are conveniently prohibiting her from dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Really quick, Turner and Hooch, Charlie Wilson's War.
Oh my God.
So it's like, I guess that's what I mean. It's like just, you know, it's like when it's like when it feels a little egomaniacal is when I'm like, okay, let's pump the brakes on this journey.
Well, in this, I wrote down this comment before I knew she directed herself.
Yeah.
But I wrote, make love to the camera. I felt like someone was saying, make love to the camera. And I guess she was saying it to herself.
Absolutely. The other thing, it's just so bizarre that I know that she directed this. She directed Always Be My Baby as well. So we'll get to that. But the part where she does, you know, they have the Tom Tom Club sample. It's like, I'm in heaven.
Yes.
Right? Again, arms overhead the entire time. But she acts so coy. And it's so lame. Because at this point, she has established so much confidence. Like, she is, you know, whether it's on the skates, just singing, like, a lot, being on crazy roller coasters, that these little cutesy facial expressions, her being coy and innocent, it just doesn't work.
No, it really doesn't. Like, you're a grown woman now, lady.
Woman. She's Mariah effing Carey.
Yeah.
Act like it. And, yeah, I just wrote, kind of lame. She could have learned to dance for this. I mean, it wouldn't have taken all that much, really.
I mean, she doesn't have to be a professional dancer.
No.
But, I mean, just move around like you're on the dance floor.
Absolutely. 110 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
And yet, 32 times she raised her arms in the air. Christina, any more notes?
I do not have any more notes on fantasy.
Our next video is Always Be My Baby. Released February 20th, 1990. I'm so glad. I was waiting for you. I was going to see if you let that date slide.
Yes, that date is very important to me.
My birthday.
Yes, it's your birthday too. It's my dog's birthday.
You remembered your dog's birthday more than mine?
I'm just kidding. I knew it was your birthday.
February 20th, 1996. I turned 24 that day.
Oh.
Yeah. This is
Mariah.
Mariah.
Like a little birthday present for you.
This is Mariah Carey's 11th #1 hit.
Wow.
Filmed at Camp Mariah in upstate New York.
What?
Yeah. Did you know about Camp Mariah?
No.
So Camp Mariah, she has given a lot of support and dedication to the Fresh Air Fund. she, I believe she opened up this camp, or the Fresh Air Fund opened up the camp under her name. And, but she was, I remember this vividly, she would go there, help the kids, you know,
that's nice
and
of
so
her.
she really wanted to give back to the community. And this video is also directed by Mariah Carey.
Interesting. Ian, what's interesting about this also is this also has basically 3 scenes. Like the first, for Less Like Fantasy, this also has like 3 scenes being played over and over and over again.
Tire
So
swing.
maybe that's just her way of
Tire swing, campfire, and the
and
kids.
the kids.
Yeah. The I did say the video seems to be about a young woman in love with a truck tire. They keep cutting back to her on the tire swing.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Well, I wrote that for my first note was
Yeah.
the tire swing is beautiful. And then as I was watching it, I wrote ... at first. Like, you didn't have to keep showing it as much. I mean, it was constant.
I wrote, the only reason she's not lifting her arms up more is because she'd fall off the swing.
Right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I
Yeah.
know.
It also prevents her from dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, this is necessarily a dance song. Did you like the song, by the way? Always Been Waiting?
I loved the song.
Do you want to know how many effing weddings I went to in the
Oh my
90s
gosh.
that used this song?
That's
Like,
interesting.
yeah, not as the wedding song, but as like one of the prominent dance songs.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Like, I always loved the song.
Yeah.
I thought it was just really a sweet song. And one of the memories I have of this song is actually I had, you know, I had sort of a long-termish boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say any names,
Okay.
of course. But, you know, we had one of those relationships that was kind of, I guess, somewhat boring. A little bit more like friends than anything, right? But, you know, whatever. And I remember this song. It was probably in the last quarter of our relationship as a whole. And the song came on, and we were in his basement, and we just started dancing to it, like, just randomly. And it was a very sweet moment. And it was one of those moments that one of the few moments that I looked at as like, oh, that was, a nice part of our relationship.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else was sort of like neutral, friends. And this was just a nice, sweet, sort of romantic moment. And we never really talked about it. We never really, it didn't really turn into anything. But it was just one of those moments. I'm like, wow, thank goodness, because honestly, I don't know if I would have had any, like, really great, spectacular moments from that relationship.
That's sweet, though.
Yeah, but it was sweet.
So when you hear the song, do you think of him?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I think of that moment. It's not necessarily him, but I think of that moment and what a nice moment that was. Really.
Was this an emotional situation for you, watching this video?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Again, like, the relationship in general was kind of a neutral.
Lackluster, yeah.
Yeah, it was very lackluster.
This, I remember, obviously remember Lori and Matt, like Lori from Jordan's.
Yeah.
This was their song.
Their wedding song.
No, not wedding song. It was like their relationship song.
Oh, their relationship song. Well, it's funny because...
Or maybe it was the song to her son at their wedding. But I remember she loved this song. But I remember this song at multiple weddings.
But, it's funny, though, because when you think about it, right? And I always thought it was a really nice song.
Yeah.
It was just now, the revisit, listening to the lyrics of the song, it's not a great message.
Oh.
And I pulled up the lyrics
because
it says, we're in it for a moment of time. It seemed everlasting that you would always be mine. Now you want to be free.
Oh.
So I'm letting you fly.
Oh.
Because I know in my heart, babe, love will never die. So with this guy who doesn't even want to be with her.
Oh.
And then there's another part where it says, you'll always be a part of me. I'm part of you indefinitely. You can't escape me because you'll always be my baby. And then it says, we'll linger on, the fingers or whatever. Oh, it says, I'm not going to cry. I won't beg you to stay. If you're determined to leave, I will not stand in your way. Like, this is all about him wanting to leave.
The music.
But inevitably, you'll be back again because you know in your heart that our love will never end. And it's more about, like, her waiting for him. Like, I'm like, this is not a great message.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just wants to leave. And she's like, go ahead. You'll be back.
It's like that Janet Jackson song about, it's like super dancey, but it's about someone who died. It's like, is it called Together? It's like, there are times when I look above.
Oh, yeah. When I think of you.
There are times. It's not called When I Think
It's not
of
what
You.
it- what-
It's is it Together? Oh God, why do I even do this to myself?
I know, and I'm telling you something. This happened before when we were doing the Janet Jackson videos.
Yeah.
This happened before. I get her songs all mixed up.
Yeah.
Like I get them all mixed up.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
But
I was
it's
just,
similar.
it was just really
but
funny.
it's so true because that music is always been my baby. Music is very misleading
It is.
because you're kind of like swaying and jamming, and then it's like, oh, he dumped her. He wants to be free.
And she's like, I'll wait. Like,
but I could see like a mother at a wedding like playing that for her son who's like who's being marrying.
that's terrible. I think that's a bit creepy. It's like the I Love You Forever. It's like,
oh my God.
right?
Oh, that's so true.
I mean, I get it's coming from a good place, but I'm not sure if I want. If I was like the woman he's marrying, I'd be like, ooh.
Well, at least
Maybe I'm rethinking
she's
this.
willing to let him go.
Yeah, sure.
So you said sweet song, and I wrote absolutely sweet song. Is it the campfire gyrations and breast heaving absolutely necessary? That was weird to me.
That was a little bit weird because
She's-
it's almost like they're dancing to an upbeat song,
Yes.
but it's in slow motion. But it's not because it's a slow song,
Right.
Right? It's just
She is
timing.
grinding. She's like doing these. It's not dancing. I want to be
No.
very clear. It is not dancing. It is like her grinding her hips in front of a campfire,
Mhm.
and it's weird because it looks like she's the only one there.
Yes.
But then you see her with a million other people on the campgrounds, and you see the kids that snuck away. So I'm like, wait, is that not supposed to be her?
Well, and I also
It's-
felt like the kids. That whole thing was weird because all of a sudden you're like, it was very, very shady, right?
Yeah.
It was like it's in a camp, right?
Mhm.
So it's at night. There's no lights, and you see like it's a bed, and you're not sure who's in the bed. I
Right.
thought it was Mariah in the bed. Like I was
Oh.
thinking at the beginning, I'm like, oh, it must be Mariah. And then you see this little kid. His head pops up. Like, oh my God, what was he doing under those sheets?
Yeah.
It was very weird and like sexual to me. And all of a sudden, like he hops up, I'm like, oh my God. And I wrote down, like, is that a child in her bed? And then you realize like it's another child.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not sure that's even better. And they escape, but it's had like this whole very like sexual aura to them,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't appreciate. Like I liked the kids together when they were being like kids,
Yes.
like running and on the tire swings and things like that. I loved that, but having the first scene like in a bed was weird.
But
to
this
me.
is what you just said. It hits the nail on the head too. A kind of a fantasy. It could have been this thing where she bumps into this kid from the past after all these years in the same spot
Oh my
where they
gosh,
declare their
right?
love from camp.
How cute would that
like,
be?
like think you could think a little bit more of the
and
story.
then it's part of
Mariah.
the lyrics too. You'll always be a
My
part
baby.
of me,
Yeah,
like
always
you
a part
know.
of me, yeah.
That was nice. Yeah, that sounds nice. But I did enjoy. I enjoyed the kids together
Yes.
when it wasn't like a sexual thing. And then the end when they kiss, yuck,
Underwater.
yuck.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing kids kiss
Nope.
to begin with.
No.
But
I wrote Mariah Carey is beautiful. Unfortunately, she's very, very, very aware of it. I said I give her big credit for standing on the tire at the end. She did not have to do that. She's
Yes.
Mariah Carey, but she stood
Yes.
up on the tire. Anything could have happened to her.
Yes, for sure. And I also think I liked the actual sort of performance part of this video better than the fantasy one.
Okay.
Because I felt like in this one, first of all, the words matched up, which was nice. That's always a plus. But it looked like she likes the song. Like when she was singing, it looked like she was enjoying singing the song, like that she liked the actual song.
Mhm.
So to me, it just gave that appearance.
Nice. That's all my notes. Any notes for you?
That's all I have. Yeah, that's it.
312 million views on
Wow.
YouTube. It's like 3 times the amount of fantasy. Now, folks, if you have never joined us before in a music video episode, we must pick one, and only one, music video for our music video vault, which is currently on Spotify under The Vault by Old Roommates.
Very exciting.
We are constantly building essentially this time capsule of music videos from these iconic artists through the decades. This will essentially represent at least 90s or the daydream Mariah Carey. So we have
Yes,
to
and
pick
now the other one, on the other end of this is, the other one is allegedly like destroyed.
Yes.
Never
right.
to be seen again.
Right,
So
right.
it's not just, kind of rising up the one that we like best, but it's also just destroying the one that we didn't like best.
Yes. I think this might be easier than, or maybe not.
I don't know.
I'm going to be honest. Going into this, I had a different answer. Talking about it, I have changed my tune.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't usually happen. I think it might be a song thing. I'm not crazy about Always Be My Baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do love fantasy, but... All right, so which one, Christina, makes the vault?
The one that makes the vault for me?
Yep. One.
I didn't write it down.
Oh, okay.
I'll write it down.
You can say, okay.
I have to block it so he doesn't know.
Well, I'm just writing, I'm not writing the whole word. Or title.
Well.
Or phrase.
I guess I know what you're going to choose.
Or a single
then.
word.
I'm not writing the whole title.
The first thing I said was I'm not writing the whole word.
The whole word, okay. All right, you ready?
What did you pick?
I wrote Always Be My Baby.
And I had fantasy and I changed to Always Be My Baby.
Wow.
A-B-M-B. Always Be My Baby.
Yeah. Yeah. For a variety of reasons, for me,
Yeah.
I like the song better. And I just felt like it was a little less Mariah because it had the different scenes without her. Mm-hmm. Not that I have anything against Mariah, but enough is enough with the face. You can only see that expression so many times before you get bored. I was bored. In a 4-minute video, I was bored.
In later years, I will say, she does branch out. She does, Heartbreaker is kind of this James Bond vibe. There's The Emancipation of Mimi. There's that big song she has. Why do I do this, Christina?
I don't know.
We Belong Together.
Mm-hmm.
So she does delve into plots eventually.
Good.
Yeah, but this time around she did not. So that was Mariah.
But do you want to...
Oopsie.
Do you want to, clarify why you chose Always over Fantasy?
Through these conversations, I think she at least tried to have some sort of subplot. There was no B plot in Fantasy.
True.
And you're right. Some of the lip syncing is not great. And I was really tired of seeing her fling her arms up in the air. Yeah. So it becomes a matter of, do I want to see her on a tire swing, or do I want to see her throwing her arms up in the air over and over and over again? So I made that judgment call, and it was an executive decision. Mm-hmm. And I stand behind it.
That's happened to me, not often, but.
But so Lambs, that's what her fans are called, Lambs.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I believe that to be true. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you everybody for listening. And that's it for us and for this episode of Old Roommates.
Thank you for listening. Please remember to follow us on Instagram or YouTube, where we have our episodes as well as a little extra.
And if you have any questions about our show, any suggestions for movies we could revisit, reach out to us at oldroommatespod@gmail.com.
Thanks again for listening.
This is Brian.
And this is Christina. Until next time.